It's the greatest show in the history of the internet. Trust me, I've had several experts look into it. It's a fact. Don't ever try to deny it. It is the Mike Sasson Show, the show that's pushing the internet forward. Like, people were like, hey, Mike, the internet is exactly like at its limit. And I'm like, hell no, we're going to add more stuff, which is essentially just two people talking mostly about nonsense. But you love it because you listen to the Mike Sasson Show. My name is Mike Sasson. Over there is Alex Clemens, first ballot Internet Radio Hall of Famer. She's here. I'm here. You're here. Let's have a party. Anyways, you're listening to The River's Edge at www.riversedgepgh.com, where you get the best local music and the best talk. It's unquestionably the greatest thing ever. Like, literally ever. Like, they decided it was like beautiful women, ice cream sundaes, children laughing. Now it's the Mike Sasson Show #1. So just so you know, that's, again, more proof that you are listening to the right thing, because you could be listening to it on the River's Edge, or you could be listening to it on the SoundCloud, the Google Play, the iTunes, like the kids. Or you might be watching us on Facebook Live, or you might be watching us on Facebook or YouTube after the fact. This week on the Mike Sasson Show, I'm going to be going over the highs and lows, which is stand-up comedy. Plus, I'll be talking about a very weird comment a woman made about my body. We're going to be talking about that. It's going to get a little weird. I hope kids aren't around, because it's going to get a little weird, as I said before. Also, Alex, bar thoughts and experiences, apparently failed at something she usually succeeds at. It can't be producing internet radio gold, because
absolutely, yeah, that definitely is not it.
Yeah, it's that's easy for Alex. It's just like, it's like scratching an itch for Alex at this point. Also, later on, we're going to be. I felt terrible last week, because last week I had Alex watch one of my favorite bands of all time, Motley Crue, and the daggers that were coming from her eyes. When we were discussing these videos, she seems disgusted. So I was sitting there going, you know what? I somewhat want Alex to like me. So I was sitting there going, what could I get from the 80s that could make Alex happy? And so you know what? Alex, this week we're going to look at 80s Cher videos.
Yeah, we are.
And the smile's real.
The smile is so real.
Yes. So
this is not my sarcastic smile as I usually have with every other Fresh Eyes thing.
Yeah, this is real. Holy crap. We get to watch some stuff that you enjoy.
It's genuine.
Genuine joy. So if you want to watch Alex have some genuine joy in her life, hey, keep watching, keep listening. Right now, I hope you are watching or listening indoors, because apparently, according to the prognosticators,
I don't think
the
that's
weather
a real
people,
word. Oh, okay. The meteorologists?
I don't know. Why do they call them
what did you call them?
Prognosticators. People who prognosticate. People who predict.
Sounds like something. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. It sounds like something you'd stick up your anus. Like,
yes,
oh,
exactly.
You have to stick this prognostication up your ass, and you're like, oh no, and then you it's like, then a hack comic who's like 50 goes, then I went to the prognosticator's office. Whatever. Who knows? Who cares?
Oh,
anyways, so supposedly super cold. Now, normally in Pittsburgh during the wintertime, it's cold. Like, that's just how it is. But this coming weekend, it's going to be like -30 wind chill. Like -3 with the real temperature. So hopefully all of you can stay warm. But here's how I was kind of making myself feel cheerful. I had no plans that required me to be outside for the next, 3 weeks.
Oh.
Other than just getting out of my car and going into other buildings, I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah, I don't know what kind of plans you would have that would make you be outside for a long period of time
I don't
in the winter.
Ski.
Yeah, no.
Do you ski?
No.
Have you ever skied?
Nope. Definitely not coordinated enough for that.
I
can't
am.
even ice skate.
I'm one of the world's greatest athletes, but I've never skied.
Yeah, I'd like to snowboard rather than ski.
Have you snowboarded?
No, but I think that it'd be more my style.
Uh-huh. How about tubing? I've tubed.
Yeah, fun.
One time when I was a little kid, we had a hill in our backyard, and my next door neighbor, we were tubing. We were, in the inner tube going down the hill, and because I am one of the world's greatest athletes, I was able to get off the tube before it went into the street or hit anything.
Yeah.
My neighbor, on the other hand, was not.
Oh no.
And he ran into a brick wall.
Oh.
Now,
is he Oh,
He's fine. Yeah, he was fine 2 seconds later, but because he was kind of, let's just say, a wimp, he just laid on the snow, and his mom was kind of like a weirded out, like, oh my God, my child is like not feeling 100%. And so she actually called an ambulance.
Oh.
And so, like, and there was nothing wrong with him. Like, he was running around like 5 minutes later.
Mm.
But it was one of those things where I had to pretend like I cared. Like, oh no, you're hurt. And I'm like, you're not hurt. Get up.
We had to do the same thing because the hill in our backyard like goes into woods. So you had to jump off before you like hit a tree. And there's a lot of them. So and you had to like there's also trees like in the course, so you had to kind of go around them. It was very very skilled tubing.
What was the big time sledding hill in Baldwin?
I don't know. I always went in my backyard. I didn't go and play with other children.
Oh, okay. Every day we just kind of peel another layer of the onion. But
I mean, like I had my friends like come to my house, but I never like I guess not Seven Springs, Cool Springs around me. Okay. They have like tubing and stuff that you could go to, but I don't think I ever went there.
The big hill around us. It wasn't like anything like designed, but at O'Hara Elementary there was a giant hill.
Yeah.
And this just shows you just like back in the day how much like nobody cared. You would go down this hill, and if you went all the way to the top and went all the way down, like it was, you could gain some speed, and in the middle it went flat. So if you were tubing, you could go boom, woo, boom.
Whoa.
But at the end was a street, not like a street, but like a place where cars would go. And occasionally, like, cars would have to be, like, looking out the side going, oh, I hope I don't run over a kid. And it never stopped us.
Huh.
And no one seemed to care. There were never parents around. It was we just walked to the hill and sled-rid, I don't know if that's a word, sled-rode into the street, and everyone was pretty much cool with it.
Yeah.
Now we'd have to wear helmets. I remember when, like, kids started to wear bike helmets. Like, that happened during my childhood. Prior to when I was in major bike riding age, no one wore helmets. If you wore a helmet while you were riding a bike, you were just considered weird. And now if you drive around neighborhoods and see kids, if you don't see them in a helmet, you think that their parents like are up on charges.
Them. Yeah.
Did you have to wear helmets when you rode your bike?
I didn't really ride my bike too many places.
Okay.
Besides the little like porch area behind my house, which is very small, and then the church parking lot. Okay. I guess when I was at those places, I had a helmet, but I was never like on the street riding my bike. I didn't.
Why are you
seems
laughing
like I
that
didn't, because it just seems like I didn't like do anything in my childhood. Like I just stayed in my backyard and like didn't go and see other children ever. I wasn't that like sheltered.
But it sounds like as you talk.
It sounds like I was, yeah.
Yeah.
But I wasn't.
Like the thing about my family was there weren't a ton of kids in our neighborhood. I mean, there were a few. Like my dad would always talk about, like he grew up in the 50s. So like in the 50s, everyone jokes about like, you know, every house had 37 kids in it.
Right, and everyone always played together.
Yeah, and all that kind of stuff. Whereas my house, I mean, there were a decent amount of kids. But the thing is because it's Pittsburgh, there was just hills everywhere.
Right.
So if you had to go to your friend's house who might even only live like half a mile away, but you had to walk up a hill, you're like, you know, nuts to that. I'll never go to see that guy.
Nuts to that.
Yeah, I'm never seeing that guy. But yeah, I was just, we always just kind of hung out with ourselves because, again, I'm from a family of 8.
Yeah, so you got it.
Yeah, I had a few, you know, friends and stuff like that. So, but overall, never wore a helmet. My brother one time got run over by a car and still didn't wear a helmet. So he was fine. He jumped up and was like, hey, what are you doing? And then whatever. He's fine. He has kids. He's good.
I can't really ride a bike that well, to be honest. Like barely.
What do you mean like you can't ride a bike well? Like I'm not asking you to like get in the Tour de France, but I mean like you could get places.
I guess if I really, really, really wanted to, but like the last time I rode a bike was in Florida last year, and we were on like back streets. There's not many cars driving on them, but when a car would drive on them, like I would immediately like fall over or like be terrified for my life. And then I ended up falling into a bush because I had to ride on a narrow-ish sidewalk. So, and I don't know how to, like, I have to use the bikes that you pedal backwards to brake. I can't use, like, handlebar brakes. I was never raised like that.
I hear you. The last time I've sporadically rode bikes.
Yeah.
But the last time I really was in prime bike riding age was I was about 13 years old. And there was a hill near where I lived that had a little jump.
Yeah.
And so everyone wanted to be all like BMX super cool guy and go up the jump and like woo, all that kind of
Woo.
stuff. But I'm starting to be a big dude at this point. And so I get my bike out there like I'm going to be a super cool dude too. So I get on the bike, go down, go up the hill, do a little thing. When I land, the bike seat breaks.
Ooh, Mike.
Yeah. Now, luckily, it was just a bruised taint. Let's just say that. We're on the internet. We could say that. But it did not feel good.
No.
I didn't want to tell all of my compatriots that I had a bruised taint. It actually didn't bruise. It just hurt a bit. And I was just like, yeah, I got to get home. And they're like, what's up, Sess? I'm like, I got a thing. I gotta go home. Like, what do you mean? Oh, I got a thing with my mom, dad thing. Yeah.
Was that the streetlights?
Yeah.
Should I go home?
It's like 12 noon. No, there's a thing. Church. It's Tuesday. No, it's church. It's a church thing. Gotta get out of here. So that's what happened there.
That's a lot, yeah. I never had any experiences like that because I just rode on my little back porch in circles.
Yeah.
And we just did things like we had a little drive-through because it was right behind my kitchen. So we'd open the kitchen window and either me or my sister would run in and we'd like hand each other food through the drive-through. That's what we did. We didn't do any crazy BMX, type things.
Yeah.
We were very safe children.
We weren't.
I
wasn't.
never.
My parents, honestly, if I would have just ran to like New York and started selling crack, it would have taken probably 6 to 8 weeks for my mother to notice I wasn't home.
Yeah.
Because there's 38 of us in the home.
Right.
Yeah. As long as some big kid would have taken some chicken, she would have just been cool with it.
Right.
Speaking though about the highs and lows of life, this weekend was maybe the most divergent experiences I've had in stand-up comedy in one weekend in a long while.
Okay.
So it started on Friday. I had a show on Friday in Oakmont, Pennsylvania. Kind of a home game because Oakmont's right over the bridge from Fox Chapel. So I'm thinking, oh, this is easy. It's near my house, all that kind of stuff.
I know these people.
These are my people. But a couple things about it. Number one, it was Friday night.
Mm-hmm.
Show started at 10.
Yeah.
Which is typically a little late.
Yeah.
But I'm figuring, maybe they've done some promotion. Maybe we're in a back room, all this other kind of stuff. I show up. It's Ron Renwick, me, and Mike Wysocki.
Yeah.
Ron Renwick is setting up the microphone stand and the PA system in an open bar. I'm like, uh-oh. I go up to him. I go, have they done a cover charge? They're like, no, they're just people that are just sitting here. I go, have they told them that we're doing comedy? They're like, no, the owner said that they didn't want to put up any signs because this is a real nice restaurant. They thought it would, like, scuzz up the place. I'm like, so no one knows we're doing comedy? And they're like, no.
Oh.
I go, so we're just going to start talking and just assuming people want to hear us? And they're like, yeah. So I talk to the owner. I sit there and I go, how long do you want us to do? And she's like, yeah, I guess the guy said you'd do like an hour and a half between the three of you. And me, Wysocki, and Ron are like, I don't know if these people are going to want us to talk for an hour and a half.
Right.
And they're like, no, you guys are good enough. You can,
Good enough.
You guys can figure it out.
That's all you need.
Yeah, you guys can figure it out. So we just essentially do what I would best describe as ambush comedy.
Yeah.
Like, no one knew that a comedy show was happening. All of a sudden, guess what? There's a comedy show.
We're here.
Yeah, there's a comedy show starting. And one of the darkest lines ever spoken by a person was spoken to me and Wysocki when Ron was on stage.
Oh, jeez.
The person walks by us, doesn't know we're part of the show. We're just sitting there. Looks at us. This old lady looks at us and goes, who the hell is he talking to? And I go, it's a comedy show. And he goes, really? And I go, no, it's actually it's a wake for someone we all don't like. And she goes, that makes more sense.
Oh, my God.
And walks away.
That's so sad.
What was sad is I then had to follow up and do a half hour to about 5 people just moderately amused by the fact that a person is attempting to do stand-up comedy in an open bar in a nice restaurant. It was so, like, here's how bad it was. I went up to Ron, and I was like, Ron, I don't want to stay. I love Mike, but I'm not staying for the headlining set. Just give me my money, and I'm going. And he goes, well, the owner hasn't given it to me yet. And I'm like, find the owner. The owner was real kind of like, oh, I'll get you your money. And so Ron said, here's the money. I'll get it from the person. At the end of the night, according to Wasaki, the owner was very much just like, I don't know if I should give this to you kind of deal. We're like, yeah, you are. Give it to me. This was painful. Get me out of here.
That's crazy.
Yes.
It's not your fault that they didn't do anything for the show.
And that's, again, one of the hardest I mean, it's one of those things of, like, after the set, if someone would have come up to me and said, hey, Mike, how did you do? I would have said, under the circumstances, decently.
Yeah.
Because they were listening. I did get a few laughs, but it was, like, legitimately pulling teeth.
Yeah.
So the next night, I have this, like, comedy theory that the comedy gods don't give you great... Like, if you go to 3 open mics in one day, and they're all amazing audiences, and they're all really good, I make the joke to young comics, understand, you're going to have a terrible month.
Yeah, something bad's going to happen.
Yeah, it's not going to be all gravy. So I show up to Derry, Pennsylvania, which is about an hour outside the city.
Never heard of it.
Small little town. Now one of my favorite places in the world to visit.
Okay.
Because I put the place in GPS. Little, unbeknownst to me, the GPS leads you to a completely different side of town.
Okay.
So I'm in this side of town. Show's about to start in about a half hour. I'm trying to find the place. A guy just, like, lines up right next to me in his van, tells me to, like, unroll the window. I, put the window down. He goes, you lost, buddy? And I go, yeah, I'm looking for blah, blah. He points at me, he goes, you're one of the comics. And I go, yeah. He goes, no, follow me. That's the difference between having posters up. They had put posters all over town.
Aww.
So the entire town knew all our faces. And so this guy legitimately gave me a, like, escort to the place. Aww. So already I'm feeling like $1 million.
That's so cute.
So then I get to the show. The place is absolutely packed. I showed you a picture.
Yeah, damn, dude.
Yeah.
How many people? It looks like there's more than 100. There's a lot of people there.
I would say if there were 200 people there, I would not be shocked.
Yeah.
200 some odd people there. Ron gets up, does pretty well. The crowd, the guy who's putting on the show says thank you to all of us like 5 times. It was me, Ron, Mike Wysocki, and Mike Travers. 3 mics and Ron.
Oh.
To make sure that Ron...
God, this is the cutest thing ever.
Yeah. So I get up there. I do about a half hour. And these people absolutely love me.
Yeah.
It is boom laugh after insane boom laugh. It's one of those sets where I go up to people and go, I don't know how good I am. Because if I'm that good, I should be playing stadiums.
Yeah.
If I'm that funny, then I am the greatest comic genius that I am ready for a Netflix HBO special. I should be... Kevin Hart has nothing on me. There was no comedian on the planet that could have had a better half-hour set than I had. And so after the show, everyone's doing well. Everyone's doing great. And it was just it's a completely different vibe. People are coming up to me afterwards, taking my picture. I got about 10 Facebook friend requests after it. It was so many. It was one of the most just absolute loving shows I've had in a long time.
Did you tell them about your super cool podcast that you do?
I did, and that's how I get brought up. You will be listening to the Mike Sasson Show on the River's Edge and blah, 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 and all that kind of stuff. So hopefully we have some new listeners
we'll see.
And some new viewers tonight. But then one of the weirdest situations happened.
Okay.
While Mike Travers was on, me and Mike Wysocki were in the back.
Yeah.
Because there was no green room. And up to this point, I didn't mind it. But then I started to mind it. Because a gentleman came up to me and said, hey, you guys were great. I'd never laughed so hard in my life, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, hey, thank you very much. Great. We took a picture with him. Then his date for the show came up to us and said, oh, you guys were great. If you're not mine, I'd like to take a picture too. And so Me and Mike put our shoulders around her and kind of give him the, hey, you know.
Hey.
Hey, how you doing? Comedy's fun. At which point, immediately after taking the picture, the woman grabs my wrist and sits there and says, "Dear God, you have Popeye arms." Now show the picture of Popeye, just so people don't know who Popeye is.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah, it's Popeye the Sailor
Yeah,
Man.
I don't think that's a huge compliment.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, that's what me and Mike were asking afterwards was, is that a compliment to say that you have Popeye arms?
I feel like there's probably a better reference that she could have used.
Yes, but then she started to grab my arms and just go up them and down them like she was feeling a tenderloin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's why I sent you and I said, Alex, what is the weirdest thing a stranger has ever said about your body?
Yeah.
Because right now, near the top is, out of the blue, you have Popeye arms.
Yeah. What did you say to that?
I said to her point blank, I go, I'm going to take that as a compliment.
And she said,
Yeah.
Not
real. And then she hung out for the next 5 minutes because then her boyfriend who had brought her up said, I'm going to sit down. And she goes, I'm going to stand here with the comics.
Weird.
And then me and Mike were like, okay.
Also, I'm surprised. Like, if anyone grabbed my wrist, I'd probably have that instinct to, like, grab their wrist.
But see,
so
here's the problem with
being
a dude.
Yeah, you can't do that.
I can't go like, get away from me. And then I break her wrist and then, the place is filled with cops and all of a sudden.
Yeah, and I guess you're not really afraid. Like, that woman's probably not going to be able to attack you.
I was a little afraid. I mean, we've already talked about the fact that, like, I remember one other show when a woman squeezed my nipples.
Yeah.
And that was a little odd and off-putting and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But
Does
yeah,
this happen to other comics?
Probably.
Like, do you ever speak to people about this and you're like, hey, do women come up to you after shows and do fucking weird things?
Most of the time I would sit there. I've had a few, like, middle-aged women, like, do the picture with me and then do the back down to the, like, the back to the butt. Like clearly you could have released that way, but instead you did the down back to the butt kind of deal.
Yeah.
Has a man done that to you in a picture?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, so usually
not people I don't know, and typically I don't take pictures of people I don't know, so that's not typically a problem for me.
If someone takes a picture with you, it's shoulder and then release, and no other body part is touched.
Yes, you're done.
Yeah,
I will say that if I am interested in a man, and he at some point in the night puts his hands like on your lower back and just like while he's like passing or something, it's great.
Yeah.
That's like the best thing that you can do. That's a good solid amount of like contact to have with
but
someone.
Not squeezing butt.
Don't go any lower.
Okay. Now let me ask you the question. What is the weirdest thing a stranger has ever said about your body?
This is the only thing I can think of because my memory. But about a year or two.
By the way, people who have not listened to the show, her memory is shit.
Yeah, it's terrible.
The fact that she remembers to do this show, I believe it's like 51st date. She just assumes this is the first show we've ever done.
Yeah. That's why I'm surprised. Like, literally every single show, I'm like, I'm pretty sure we've talked about this. Like, I don't know anything that I say. I'm pretty sure we've already said. It's just I don't remember.
Yeah.
No one else is going to remember.
Yeah.
Anyways, about a year or two ago, while I was at work, we have because I sell T-shirts, we have the question all the time, like when I'm out on the floor selling stuff, that people will be like, oh, well, what size do you wear? So that they can judge to, like, if they're buying it for someone else.
Yeah.
So a man, he was buying a shirt for his wife, and he said, oh, well, like, what size do you wear? And I said, either small or extra small, depending how good I feel that day, because that's my always response. And he said, oh. I said, well, you're a little bit chunkier than my wife is, so I'm not sure what size to get her. And he was like, no offense or anything. I don't know how that you can not take offense from someone calling you chunky.
I don't understand the whole no offense thing. It's like how like in Talladega Nights when he sits there and goes, "I think you're a piece of shit and a gutless, loser." No offense.
Right.
It's like it doesn't take away what you just said.
No, if you're ever saying no offense, you definitely it's definitely mean.
Yeah.
And you're definitely and like he tried to explain himself later too. And it didn't help his cause at all. And I remember the person I was working with just started laughing. I was like, I'm not chunky. I don't know what you would say to a real chunky person.
Did you ever request pictures of the wife to make sure that she was real?
I didn't.
Okay.
I didn't. No, I don't know how he got a wife by calling random girls chunky, but
yeah. Now, one thing that has happened to me, and is sometimes a person will say, "Oh my God, look!" They'll point they'll be with their husband or wife. They'll point at me and go, "Tell me who he looks like," and they'll be just like, "Dave." I'm like, "Oh my God, he looks so much like Dave," and I'm just sitting there going, "Dave better be a good-looking dude."
You must have one of those faces.
Yeah, any bigger dude. I mean, I have a round face with regular white guy haircut, so yeah, I understand that like I know when I get up in front of an audience of 200 people in Derry, one of the things that is on my side is I look pretty much like every dude in that place or every one of the wives' husbands.
Yeah.
And so he's a big guy with a round face with a big voice who likes football. Okay, he's pretty much this town.
Yeah, people only compare me to other people with colored hair, obviously, just, we're all the same person, apparently, if you dye your hair fun colors.
Yeah.
And then people always tell me they look like Julia Roberts. And then
when I first met you, you were obviously pre-green hair.
Yeah.
You were a spot on. The smile was spot on to Julia Roberts.
Yeah, it started after I got my braces off when I was younger. Immediately when I got my braces off, everyone was like, oh, I can't figure it out, but you look like someone. And there was about a month of people doing that to me. And then finally someone figured it out and everyone was like, oh my God, thank God someone figured it out. Even my old when I used to take the bus a year ago, my bus driver said that to me. He literally stopped the bus the one time. I was getting off and he stopped and wouldn't go. He was like, you look like someone. I'm going to figure it out. And I was like, is it Julia Roberts? Which I hate saying back to people.
Yeah, that's pretty.
But I didn't want to hold up the bus.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, that's exactly it. I was like, thank you.
I mean, that's why I have a joke where I say people just tell me what I look like. I've never had anyone, just full disclosure, I've never had anybody actually say that I look like Alec Baldwin's half-brother who's a manager at a Denny's.
Yeah, that's a pretty big thing to say. I don't think people
have
do
had
that.
people say Ben Affleck.
Okay.
I have had people say Mark Cuban.
Oh, okay.
I have had people say usually character actors, oh, you look at the guy from... I look like the boyfriend from The Office, the first one. The one was the jerk and the whatever.
Oh,
anytime I just look like a bigger white dude.
Anyone who's above 6 foot and
a bigger dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just look that. Yeah. Belushi, I got a lot back in the day when I was a lot thicker. John Goodman, I've gotten when I was clean shaven. But yeah, if you, I don't know. It's one of those, it's weird, just Popeye arms.
Popeye arms.
But then, what also got it to me is I'm a huge fan of Popeye's chicken. So I'd like to eat something called Popeye arms, which would be maybe a big piece of fried chicken. I don't know.
It's weird that I will eat things that have legs in it or wings in it. But if someone was like, oh, here's some chicken arms, I don't want to eat that.
Which is essentially what you're eating.
Yeah. It's just I didn't grow up, calling it that. So now it's weird and gross.
It is weird how, just changing the name of something.
Yeah.
For instance, at one point, there was a thing called the estate tax. And everyone's like, oh, let's charge estates. And then someone goes, well, what if we called it the death tax? And we're like, oh, we're all going to die. I don't want you to die and tax me. And that made it so where you could lower it.
Yeah.
So that's how things work. And that's how this show works, because we talk about something and then we stop talking about it. We take a little break, and then Alex is going to talk about the fact that she drinks, and when she drinks, she writes down her deepest thoughts. The veil of just intimacy is revealed, and you learn about the true Alex. Anyways, this is the Mike Sasson Show on the River's Edge at www.riversedgepgh.com. We'll be right back. It is the Mike Sasson Show. You're listening to us on the River's Edge at www.riversedgepgh.com. Also, if you're looking for great comedy this weekend, our friend Chris Mohan has his show February 1st at Mr. Small's Funhouse. You go there. It's going to be an amazing show. So check out our friend Chris Mohan's show this Friday. Also this Friday, our friend Matt Light. We have lots of friends to the show.
We do.
And Matt Light is going to be on Barstool Sports, like the boxing thing, this Friday.
Woo!
So hopefully he'll kick some ass. I don't know what it's called again. It's called, the brawl thing. I don't know. But Matt Light's
where?
Yeah, it's in Atlanta. It's
the
Rough and Rowdy.
Oh,
that's what it's called. Yeah. So he's going to box, so hopefully he kicks that guy's ass.
Yeah.
Anyways, someone who doesn't kick ass in the sense of physicalness, but in terms of life, is Alex, because she loves to drink. She loves to write down what she does when she drinks. It's called Bar Thoughts and Experiences. Alex, play your theme song.
Maybe y'all can relate. My style's dope any way that you slice it. It's a fresh cut, hope that you like it.
All right, Mike.
What about that sigh? That doesn't seem like it's a positive. You should be like, yay, my Bar Thoughts and Experiences.
Yay, Bar Thoughts and Experiences.
That's not at all genuine.
So this weekend, I had an interesting experience. One unlike I usually have.
Okay.
So I went to a BMX event on Saturday.
I saw this on Instagram with you and your sister.
Yeah.
Where is this place?
It's called the Wheel Mill. It's over in Point Breeze. I don't know the exact area.
But
to be
somewhere
honest.
in Pittsburgh.
Somewhere in Pittsburgh.
How big is this facility?
Huge.
And it's all BMX?
It's a whole block.
But it's all BMX and skateboarding and all that kind of good stuff.
Yeah, it's huge. It's crazy.
The kids love it.
It's amazing.
Is there an arcade there?
No.
Do they serve pizza?
I don't know.
Do they have skee ball?
No.
They should have skee balls.
No, it's just one giant bike park, and it's pretty sweet.
I don't know. I like skee ball.
So I went because my sister needed someone to go with.
Is your sister looking with? Is someone a male person?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Her male person, not the guy who delivers our mail.
Yes.
But her male companion.
Okay.
Not
official yet, but I mean a male companion.
I don't know. I don't like to make things official for other people. So,
okay. Yeah.
he was doing video for the event.
So he wasn't actually riding the bike.
Well, he did, but not in the competitions that they were doing.
Could he do the thing where he goes woo and all that kind of
Yeah,
stuff?
he said woo.
Okay, that's cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was pretty amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to go because I heard there's going to be a lot of hot dudes there.
Were there?
Yeah, there were a lot of hot, almost every person there was my type of dude.
Mm-hmm. And describe again, what is your type of dude?
My type of dude would be dark hair and a beard.
Okay.
Does something something like that. BMX, skateboarding,
Okay.
or a musician.
Okay.
If all of that's great.
So you like men that are really living their best lives in their 20s.
Yeah.
But by the time they're in their 40s and 50s, will either have to give up all of this so that they can actually earn a living, or basically become destitute.
Or they're famous in what they do.
That's not happening. Go ahead.
They could get sponsored and be famous.
Yeah, there's
You never know.
So many BMX guys we know about.
Yeah.
Like?
I don't know. I don't
Exactly.
follow BMX.
No one does. Go ahead.
There are people who do.
Nah, yeah.
I support you guys.
Good for them.
Okay, Mike. Sorry, not everyone likes football.
No, everyone does like football. I don't know if you
That's
know.
not true.
The Super Bowl is very popular.
Yeah, but it's not, Not everyone likes it.
I understand. Not everyone likes it. But comparatively speaking, between BMX, I would say
comparatively speaking.
Comparatively
If
speaking.
you're going to compare football and BMX, sure, yeah.
Okay, comparatively speaking, football is more popular than literally everything else in this country.
What about food?
Food is like, I'm talking entertainment.
Entertainment. What about movies?
I would say that
You
more
think-
people will probably watch football in this country than will go to the movies this year.
Not go to the movies, but watch movies.
Well, that's easy. But I mean, I would sit there and say, in terms of entertainment, the number one television show every single year for the past 30 years has been the Super Bowl.
Either way, none of this matters.
I understand.
So I went to this thing, and it was amazing because there was a bunch of beautiful guys there. Also, it was amazing because like I said earlier in the show, I can barely ride a bike. So to be able to see people do things like that was pretty incredible.
Okay.
So then we went to a brewery afterwards.
Okay. Now this is getting bar thoughts. Here we go.
Yeah.
Was there skee ball there?
No.
What's
What brewery do you know that has skee ball?
Well, the one I'd go
Pick
to
one.
because skee balls are cool.
Where?
I
Where's
don't know.
that brewery?
That's what I'm saying. That's why I don't go to many, because I walk in, I'm like, hey, do you have skee ball?
What's your obsession with skee ball?
I don't know. It's a funny word
It's
that I wanted
weird.
to use.
Okay, so we went to
Say
this
the word skee ball
brewery.
and try not to smile.
Skee ball.
See, it's a cool, funny word.
There's definitely funnier words.
I don't know.
And it was pretty amazing because guess what? All of the beautiful people, not all of them, but a lot of the beautiful men that were at this event went to this brewery afterwards for the after party.
Okay.
And there's bands, really good bands.
Cool.
And I was like, this place is heaven. Like, I'm in the exact right place that I could be ever.
You're an Alex. If Alex had passed away, which we don't want to have happen, but if you were, and your heaven would be a brewery with hot dudes who just got off BMX bikes playing good music, you'd be like, life well lived, I'm good.
Yeah, and there was a taquito truck outside too. So like, and puppies.
How did puppies show
There were
up?
puppies in the brewery. So cute.
So wait a minute. You're
Not
talking
like
about
little
a place.
puppies, but they had dogs there.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
So this place, you start off with BMX.
Yeah.
You go to a brewery.
Yeah.
It has a band.
Yeah.
Tacos are outside.
Yeah.
There's dogs inside.
Uh-huh.
Is there a chance you possibly were hallucinating? Because this is like your
No.
perfect place.
Yeah. I could have honestly done without the dogs. I'll be honest.
You're not a huge dog guy?
It was really crowded.
Ah.
And I already get kind of anxious being in like crowded places where people are like, I constantly feel like I'm in the way.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, dogs are just going to kind of add to this problem a little bit. And everyone's like, oh my God, dogs.
Uh-huh.
And I'm just like, I just want to look at your face on occasion and then not look at you anymore.
I like doggies in which I go, haha, you're a doggy, and then I walk away.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But there were some freaking cute dogs there.
There you go.
But anyways, so the whole time I was there were so many beautiful men there. It was kind of like an overload for my brain. And I was like, I don't know, who do I choose? Who do I choose? What do I do? Should I go up to someone?
Did any of the dudes approach you?
No.
See, here's my thing, Alex. I think we need to work on the vibe you send out, because sometimes I think you talk about the fact that, like, you're like at your New Year's Eve, like none of the guys would come and kiss you. I think your vibe is that of, no, I'm good. And you got to give the vibe of, no, I'm open for business. I'm ready to party.
I think that maybe I should be more sad because I'm always I'm always really enjoying my time. So I think people are like, oh, well, she's kind of like
But let me ask you a
enjoying
question.
herself.
Were
I don't
you
want
with
to
your
bother.
sister
Yeah.
and her boyfriend?
Yeah.
And then people with them. So there's a little bit too much of a cliquey thing. Maybe you need
We weren't really around people. Like, I mean, like, we would talk to people sometime, but it was mainly just, like, the three of us, you know? And you could clearly tell that they were a couple.
Okay.
And then it was just me kind of, standing on my own dancing, you know? Like normal.
Were you... All right, so...
I was dancing around, and I was, like, crazy smiling because I was so happy. I was, like, almost on the verge of tears because I was so happy.
And none of the men... You think that the key to get men, is... You're open, but you can't be too happy because they sit there and they go, that person's too content. I don't want to ruin that contentness.
I honestly feel like that's a factor. I think you have to be really in the middle because you can't be too sad, I feel, because everyone's like, I don't want the sad sack of shit, you know? But you can't be too happy either. You have to be really right in the middle and just, like, giving off those
now,
vibes.
let me ask you a question. Let's just play right now, okay? You're at the place.
Okay.
All right? Look into the camera.
Yeah.
It's a hot dude. Give me the look you give the hot dude.
I'm not really good at those, I don't think.
That's, I think, something you might need to see. That seems like forced.
See, I just kind of like give a nice like, smile
See,
to someone.
You didn't show teeth there. You gotta go with your.
That's weird.
But like,
If someone turned around and smiled at me and like was like, I'd be like, oh, what? Why are you looking at me like that? I think I'd be creeped out. I think you need. See, I used to do this all the time, and it works.
Okay.
Well, at least in other situations that I've been in, where you give.
This Saturday didn't work at all. No dudes walked up to you. You walked home and you walked no snakes bagged.
No snakes bagged. I did get a message on Instagram yesterday about some guy who wanted to come up to me and give me his number, but didn't because he's a pussy. He didn't say that, and I apologize to you, sir.
No, pussy.
But
I'm calling your ass out.
Yeah, and yeah.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Yeah. That was it.
Yeah.
But no, typically what I do is I'll do the kind of like you look at the person in like 4 seconds, give them a little smile, look away, pretend like you're having a great time, which you probably are having a great time. Then a little while later, you look back, give them a little glance again, and then people come over to you. The bad thing is, though, this is something that can get you also in trouble because I accidentally do this to people all the time, and then people I don't want to come over to me and like, hey, let me buy you a drink, girl. They don't say it like that typically, but
at least worst case scenario, you're getting free drinks.
Yeah, but then you have to talk to the person, or then I have to be like, go away, person.
You just pull what women do with me, and they're like, oh, I got a thing, and then you walk away.
Yeah, I don't do that. I'm really nice.
Yeah.
Typically.
Okay, so do that move right now to the camera.
I'll try, but it's not a hot dude.
Okay, that's what you got to learn to act better. Like, okay.
Yeah, I'm not a good actress.
Yeah,
I didn't sign up for that.
You got to really work it. See, I actually think the
though.
little smile and then the walk away was cute. I think that was nice.
Yeah, but nothing worked. So, and then I went to an after party. Some of the same people. Nothing.
Maybe these dudes are just so into BMX that they don't have time for ladies.
See, that's what I kind of thought too, and I was like, listen, maybe I'm not gonna put this on myself. It's definitely not me.
See, that's the thing about the BMXers and the musicians. They're just so into their thing, so it's all encompassing that they're sitting there going, you know what, music and BMX and brews are my life. I don't have room for the ladies.
I just, I just want to tell people who have that thought in their mind, and I like them, that, I don't take up very much time. I don't really like to hang out with people that much. Like once every other month, totally fine with me.
Cool.
That's way more than enough time to spend with me.
There you go.
That's all I need.
There you go. You know what?
I'm very low maintenance.
There you go. Low maintenance Alex.
If I could just put some signs up around me. You know how we talked about this on the show a really long time ago about how everyone kind of needs like a little symbol, like, oh, like, I'm single, or like I'm looking to date. They need like a little sign that says that, like flashes next to you, or like, this isn't my boyfriend. Yeah, that would be really helpful.
Again, we haven't figured it out.
No.
The technology has not made itself available. Thank you very much, Alex. That was Bar Thoughts and Experiences.
Welcome.
Next up is my hot take. So they're like hotcakes, only no syrup. Get away. A lot of things in the comedy world this week was about Louis C.K. was in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
And then what happened was a friend of the show, who's been on the show, the manager and the owner of, he's not the owner, I don't know what he is, of Burning Bridge Comedy Club.
Yeah.
And also the Burning Bridge Festival, John Dick Winters.
Yeah.
Made news when he decided to give up an MC spot at the Pittsburgh Improv because Louis C.K. was going to be at the Pittsburgh Improv. So he felt that as a solidarity with people that were against the fact that the Improv was going to do this, he decided to cancel his MC gig of a show 2 weeks in the future. Now, understand what I just said. 2 weeks in the future.
Yeah, he wasn't like on Louis C.K.'s show.
But not according to WTAE. So if you want to show that picture, what does it say, Alex?
Local comedian backs out of opening for Louis C.K. in Pittsburgh.
Okay, so here's the deal. John never said, and I read his op-ed and I even read a Facebook post, he never said that he was opening up for Louis C.K.
Yeah.
He said he was canceling an MC spot that he had worked for because of his issue with the Pittsburgh Improv.
Right.
Here's my hot take. This scares the hell out of me that the media could be this wrong on a very simple detail to check.
Right.
What else are they getting wrong?
Yeah.
So one of the things that it was Colin Cowherd, who's a sports guy on Fox Sports 1, talked about the fact that the reason why Trump's fake news mantra has caught on is because of stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because people sit there and say the media doesn't check facts. The media just goes with, I mean, what explanation could be to getting something like, to be honest with you, which is a big fact. Because according to that, he had a chance to open up for Louis C.K. and he turned it down. He didn't. He had a chance to open up for someone else a couple weeks later.
Right. And the fact that, I mean, obviously to them, that makes a better news story.
But that's the thing. Could they be that callous that they know that it's not true, but they know it's going to get clicks, so they sit there and say, screw it, it doesn't matter.
Right. Yeah.
I really hope that they were just incompetent and they just were complete morons.
I think either way, it's pretty terrible.
Yes. So at the end of the day, here's my hot take. Media, at least try, attempt to be right sometimes. Speaking of the Pittsburgh Improv, here's what I would say about the Pittsburgh Improv. The Pittsburgh Improv is what it is. The Pittsburgh Improv is not in to develop talent. It's to showcase people. So would I hope that someday they would develop a better feeder system to get younger comics in the city into that showcase? Yes. But as of right now, they're not, and it doesn't look like they're going to change anytime soon.
I totally forgot to tell you something.
What were you going to tell me?
Speaking of looking for comedy talent, at Scarpacey's last week, during the open mic, a guy turned to me and asked me if I was a talent recruiter, like a comedy talent recruiter. I said, no, I'm not. Why would you think that? He was like, the way that you walked into this bar and like sat down and like the way that you looked like you were almost judging the comics, and like you didn't laugh at as many things as other people did. And you looked like you were really like studying them. And so that was his reasoning for thinking that I was a comedy talent recruiter.
See, okay, not to go back to the other part, but that does kind of give off the vibe that you weren't necessarily there to have fun. You were kind of just like,
I also went and sat by myself. So if you're sitting by yourself at a comedy show, you might not be.
Was there a future person that you? Because I remember last week when you were there.
Yeah.
And was a person coming to visit you later on, or you just by yourself?
Yeah. No, Liam was coming to there, but they sat away from me.
Okay.
And I was sitting by myself still.
So Liam showed up.
Yeah.
And then didn't sit with you.
Yeah. There was no seats by me.
Ah.
It's not like he hates me.
Oh, okay. But
I was kind of doing my job,
which is
recruiting comedy talent,
bringing comedy talent to the River's Edge.
Yeah. I was like, listen, I do that. I have a podcast.
You have suggested people. I have sat there and you've gone up to me and go, I like this person.
Yeah, but it's basically just who I like. Yeah. I don't know if they'd be the best.
Yeah. Well, but
I like them a lot.
But that's what every show does.
Yeah.
They say there is no best. There is what you like.
Right.
That's how it is. That's your hot take.
Hot take.
There you go. But I would hope the Improv would do better in the future. Okay. Next up, I want the Rams to win this Sunday.
Do you?
But no. I don't think they're gonna.
What?
Yeah, you're being very sarcastic at this point.
I have to watch it.
I know you do. You have shirts at your thing that say anybody but New England or something like that.
My sister, we're having a Super Bowl party.
Okay. You don't seem happy.
It wasn't my choice. No one that's coming wants to watch the Super Bowl.
You're there to watch the commercials.
They're just coming so that they can have a party.
Ah.
That's it.
There you go. Well, better excuse than anything.
Yeah.
Maroon 5, you looking forward to that?
Oh, my God, yeah.
Are you really?
Almost as much as I'm looking forward to the Super Bowl.
I can't tell if you're kidding anymore.
I am completely kidding about all of that. I don't want to see any of it.
Okay. Anyways, so her hot take, again, you're like 2. I've gotten 2. You've gotten 2. Here's your second hot take. You could care less about the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
My thing is, I wish the Rams would win because I really think it would be cool for Aaron Donald to win because I coached against him when he was at Penn Hills, and I actually met the young man when he was at Pitt. So, but hey, I hope he does win, especially if he gets to sack Tom Brady and break his legs. That'd be fun. Anyways, also another thing. This is my final hot take.
Yeah.
There was a story on 60 Minutes about artificial intelligence. They went over to China and they showed these new things to where they can actually look at people's faces and figure out everything about you by your face and all this other kind of stuff.
Like what about you?
Age, who you are. So if they're looking for somebody, they know exactly where you are and all this other kind of stuff. They can tell if you're happy or sad. There's actually a program to where if, let's say, they could do a camera on a class and the teacher will be able to see on a sheet of paper later who in the class was paying attention, when did they lose interest, so that they can specifically go, okay, this kid lost it at this point, so that's where we have to go and help this kid. Yeah, that's the future. That's the future.
I can't decide if that's good or not.
That's the thing. The other thing about it, which I thought was weird, is the guy was talking about the fact that he says within the next 20 years, upwards of 40% of all jobs that are currently done will be able to be done basically without people.
Great.
So here's my hot take. I think we'll figure out something.
What if you had that artificial intelligence at a bar and you could figure out when people lose interest in what you're talking about, and then you can be a master at picking people up. But you're the only person who has the technology, and they don't know that you have it.
Well, here's what I would sit there and say. This is what you could possibly do. Let's say there's a secret, a room, you go into the bar, and everybody in the bar knows what's happening.
Okay.
And then you look at that facial thing and you figure out which women in the place are actually looking for men and which ones are kind of in their own place, which ones are actually, because they literally could tell by the facial fact whether they were smiling or happy or confused or all that other kind of stuff. So you could sit there and say, okay, these 3 women are giving a 90% chance that they are actually here to look for men.
Yeah.
And these women are actually here to party and be with themselves. All that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Which could be, again,
helpful.
It's all a tool, and it's how we use it.
Unless we, just want to have the suspense and the sadness of, failing at that.
Yeah, no one wants that. Anyways, so that is Hot Takes. Now we will go for a break, and then after this, the segment that I believe Alex has been waiting 2.5 years for. It is Fresh Eyes 80 Cher. After this, it's the Mike Sasson Show on the River's Edge at www.riversedgepgh.com. We'll be right back. This is the Mike Sasson Show on the River's Edge at www.riversedgepgh.com. Thank you very much for everyone who listens and supports the show. Keep supporting the River's Edge and keep supporting local comedy and local music. But right now, don't do that. Do this right now. Keep listening, because right now we have a very special Fresh Eyes in which Alex might not completely hate me, but I'll hate her because she has to play this song. It is Fresh Eyes. Play my song. All right, so last week I had Alex watch Motley Crue videos, and I think during the middle of the segment she almost quit the show.
I tore my ears off.
Yes, she almost did a Van Gogh and was like, I hate this crap, I don't care about this.
Yeah.
So I sat there and I was like, how can I earn back Alex's trust that I'm not going to make her watch horrific stuff from the past every week? So I racked my brain, and I saw that this very famous woman who's on tour and coming to Pittsburgh in a few months.
Who I'm seeing.
Yes.
Right?
Yep. I think, yeah.
Yeah, I have tickets to that.
Again with the memory. Anyways, and someone you've seen in the past.
Yes.
But have you seen the 80s version of her? It is Cher.
Yeah.
So, little facts on Cher.
Do it. Tell me facts, because I don't know.
Okay, her real name is Sherilyn Sarkeesian.
I knew that.
She is 72 years old. She will be 73 in May.
Still looks hot as balls.
She's been in the entertainment industry since 1963. She married her first husband, Sonny Bono, when she was 16.
Yeah.
They were married for 11 years. Then she eventually married Greg Allman, who she had a kid with. She sold upwards, that I Got You Babe song sold 40 million albums worldwide.
Hell yeah,
it was
did.
A huge hit for her. But when the music career kind of went away, kind of lived for a little bit, they actually had a TV show called the Sonny and Cher Comedy Hour that had, this blew my mind, 30 million viewers a week.
Wow.
Yes.
I did not know that.
Yeah, so it was an absolute hit. The only reason why it only lasted from 1971 to 1974 is in 1974 they got divorced.
Yeah.
And so this was 1974, and they're like, we can't have these two be divorced and have a TV show, even though in 1976, 77, they got a show back. But it was weird because it was the 70s, and everyone's like, divorce is evil. And so that kind of went away.
Yeah.
So she went kind of through some ups and downs. In the early 80s, she did a lot of movies. She did Mask.
Such good movies.
And then she did Moonstruck, in which she won an Oscar. And then she get back into the music. She signed with David Geffen, who is a personal friend, who actually, they almost got married, even though David Geffen's currently gay. And they produced the first album in 1987 called just Cher. And off that album had one of, if it wasn't Cher, I think you would have hated this video. It was I Found Someone, which is 80s power ballad, just Cher-ness.
Yeah.
With her then boyfriend, who was nicknamed Bagel Boy because she was like in her 40s and he was like 24 and had to work at a bagel shop.
Got it. I was like, okay, where does the bagel part come in?
Yeah, that's
Bagel
why
Boy. That's a shitty name.
The tabloids kept calling him Bagel Boy. By the way, also here are the men that she had been with in the past. Obviously, Sonny Bono.
What?
Yeah, Warren Beatty.
Okay.
Tom Cruise.
Knew that one.
Gene Simmons from Kiss. Yeah, everyone's got one of those.
They had
I
the
guess.
same hair.
Eric Clapton.
Huh.
Greg Allman, obviously, who they married. Val Kilmer.
Oh.
And Richie Sambora. And she claims Elvis almost. She said she was going to go out with him, was with him, got too nervous, never was able to kind of finish the deal.
Were they the same age? Around the same age?
He was born a little bit earlier, so if he
I
died
feel like he'd be older.
If he died when he was 41, 42, and 77, so he's probably in his late 30s. She's probably in her 20s in 1972, 73. So
Okay.
I would sit there and say, at least she was in her 20s. He was in his 30s or 40s.
Yeah.
But Hollywood, whatever. But couldn't finish the deal because it was Elvis.
I bet she seemed very intimidating, and he didn't come up to her.
No, actually, she said point blank. I saw the interview. Had the chance. She got nervous.
I mean, it's Elvis.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you get nervous?
If I was going to get with Elvis, I'd be really nervous.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's just me. Anyway, so I Found Someone. What did you think of this video?
First of all, Cher's super hot in these videos. Like, she's a good-looking woman. Maybe beside the hair's, obviously a lot. It's a lot.
It's 80s. It's 80s
Yeah. I could do without 80s hair altogether. But the other chick in the video that, like...
The blonde.
Yeah,
That's
not attractive.
That's Virginia Madsen.
Yeah.
She's actually currently still in movies and stuff like that.
Yeah, you look at Cher, and then you look at her, and, like, her boy is, like, looking at this blonde chick, and you're like, why? Look at Cher. She's great. Why are you even looking at this other woman?
But here's the thing. This is a Cher video. So there's a good chance that Cher kind of sat there and went, okay, we're going to get a decent looking woman.
But not too good.
Yeah, not someone who's going to be like, like the audience would be like, yeah, I totally get why Bagel Boy's going after her.
Yeah. Also, I'm pretty sure every single man in this video has the same exact like mullet haircut.
Yes. And dance the same way.
Yeah. I was like, wait, who's who right now?
Yeah.
Like in the one scene, I could not tell the men apart.
Uh-huh.
And I thought that was good.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I love her outfits in everything.
Yes.
She has great outfits, and she kills it. Style in spell right
Here's
there.
the thing about Cher that's interesting. I remember back when all of these videos were coming on.
Yeah.
Again, she was in the first video, she would have been 41. In the second video we'll talk about, which is one of the most famous videos of the 1980s, she was 43.
Yeah.
The fact that someone of that age was showing that much skin and that much sexuality in the late 80s was really like viewed as being weird.
Yeah.
Because the thing is that people kind of forget is like who else as a female singer was still doing it who was doing it in the late 60s.
Right.
Because you think about it, Barbra Streisand, but she was always in ball gowns and singing ballads.
Yeah.
Grace Slick was singing We Built This City wearing like almost basically like a sport coat.
Right. Huge shoulder pads.
Yeah, huge shoulder pads, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
There wasn't a woman who was like, again, popular in the late 60s like she was, still like saying, hey, I'm still going to be out there showing skin and stuff like that. And then on top of that, dating younger dudes. Because, you know, again, Bagel Boy was only like 24 and she was like, 40.
Yeah. And you would never be able to tell.
You could kind of tell.
A little bit,
Yeah.
maybe.
She,
But I
she
don't
was
think
definitely an attractive 40-year-old woman.
Yeah.
But you could tell she wasn't 22.
Right, but I wouldn't guess her to be 40
Okay.
in this video.
Really, what would you guess?
I'd say maybe like mid-30s.
Okay. Is there a
If
huge difference
less.
between mid-30s
Yes,
and 40s?
Mike. 40s when you go downhill. Haven't you noticed?
Not at all. Still at my peak. Anyways, so
But what you said before about how I don't know if I would like this if it wasn't Cher. I really don't know. It's very hard because my opinion is very skewed.
one of the shots that I sat there and said, if this was anyone else but Cher, Alex would rip it apart, was when she was walking down the street. The guy jumps in the shot, does the guitar solo, and then jumps out of the shot.
Yeah.
If that was anybody else, you would have said that's the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my
It
life.
was a pretty like corny, cheesy video.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like I honestly, I don't think that she has great videos. I've never seen really like a Cher music video where I'm like, hell yeah, love that music video. Love her songs. Don't necessarily love her music videos.
What did you think about the end when she throws down the picture, says we're done, breaks the picture, but then the last shot is Bagel Boy.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck?
Bagel Boy's in freaking the shot, and all of a sudden they make up like at the end.
Yeah, I was like, okay, is that it? Is that you're back together now? You just resolved everything?
Yes.
That was quick.
All right.
They had to have an ending, I guess, but I think the better ending would have been her breaking the photo.
Because
and, like,
the whole point of the song is
being
I
fucking
found
done.
someone.
Yeah. You're a shitty person.
Yeah.
I moved on.
Now,
we all good.
The second video, which again was one of the most famous videos in the 1980s, because if there's anything about the 1980s, it has to be over the top. So I could just see in a production meeting someone going, okay, Cher, we've got this new song. It's written by Diane Warren, who is actually one of the biggest songwriters in music to this day.
Didn't know that.
Wrote most of Celine Dion's hits, wrote Aerosmith's Don't Want to Miss a Thing, wrote a bunch of stuff. Wrote this song specifically for Cher. Cher initially didn't like it, sang it, said, you're right, you're wrong, I'm going to sing it.
I want someone to write a song for me.
Yeah, well, learn to sing. Anyways, so it's called If I Could Turn Back Time, which again is still on like Light FM radio to this day. But they shoot the video on the USS Missouri.
Yep.
Which is where they signed the armistice to end World War II.
Yeah.
So then Cher shows up and show the outfit that Cher was wearing.
Ooh, this is what I was for Halloween a couple years ago.
Where is that photo of you in this outfit?
Okay, well, I don't have the exact outfit. I wasn't wearing that exact same thing. I had my little bodysuit was definitely more covered
Okay.
than her outfits here. and I had the leather jacket on it that she has in the beginning. So.
And I want you to show, and it was actually during an interview with David Letterman in one of his last, because this was David Letterman's favorite picture of him when he was in media.
This was his favorite picture?
He sat there and showed it to her. It was when Cher is hugging Sonny Bono in that outfit from A Turn Back Time. And what is Dave doing?
Looking at her butt.
Looking at her butt, which, by the way, her butt has something special on it. A rose tattoo.
Yep.
That's what was weirded out back in 1989. This was a 43-year-old woman, again, in hellish shape, on a battleship, surrounded by the entire U.S. Navy, it seems, playing a song in a scantily clad outfit. Her 12-year-old son is the guitarist. The blonde in the Jimi Hendrix, that was her son.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
You want to talk about over the top. You want to talk about 80s. You want to talk about, like, yeah, we're doing it big. Which, by the way, since this video, this was how controversial this video was at the time. Initially, MTV banned it.
Right.
Then they said, oh, no, we're only going to play it after 9 p.m. Which, now you're watching it in 2019. You're like, what the hell?
Yeah, there's literally nothing wrong with it now.
Yeah, it's just, you see
There's so much worse now.
You see a little butt cheek from a 43-year-old woman. But, yeah, people thought this was just scandalous that Cher would do this. Which, again, I can understand why women would feel empowered by this, because she's just like, no, I'm going to walk out in front of the entire U.S. Navy wearing a stocking showing more, basically covering my genitals and my boobs, and that's about it.
Should I get a butt rose tattoo matching Cher's?
I'd say no. How bad would a butt? Do you have any tattoos on your butt?
No, I'm I'm gonna get one. I just haven't found the right thing yet.
Okay, I would assume it'd be painful.
It's just as painful as anything else. I feel like that would be less painful than other things, to be honest.
Would you consider, because of Cher, to get a rose tattoo?
I would honestly, yeah. I might get a matching one.
It's not just a rose on one butt cheek. It's across both butt cheeks.
Yeah, you never know. Maybe I'll get matching.
Okay.
And then I'll be like, Cher, we're best friends now. And whenever I go to her concert, I'll pull my pants down and show her.
There you go.
So I have to get it before her concert.
Yeah.
But the thing that bothers me about this video is that, like, it has nothing to do with what she's talking about, like the whole song. I think that really kind of bugs me. It doesn't seem like the song is really fitting with anything. Like her outfit, the whole music video, where she's at, I'm like, maybe pick a song that's a little bit more like I don't know.
I mean, it's a big song. I mean,
it's a big song, and it's definitely like very kind of anthem-y.
Remember, it's 1989. She's competing not only with Madonna, but she's competing with, again, the Guns N' Roses and the Metallicas and those type of. You could see in the dark leather, she's trying to kind of be more of the rocker chick.
Yeah, it's just the song doesn't go with it.
Would you feel self-conscious walking out in that outfit in front of basically 1,000 sailors?
I don't think so.
You'd be that confident, like, yeah, look at my rose tattoo on my butt.
Yeah, I mean, if I was Cher, I think I would.
I'm not saying Cher. I'm saying Alex Clemens.
Yeah, I mean, if I was able to sing.
That'd be your biggest issue.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be more afraid of that than walking out in that outfit.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd feel like myself, but I don't think that I'd be, like, super, ashamed of it.
Yeah.
I think I could do it.
But you're saying you feel the video and the song aren't matching.
Yeah, I feel like I don't hate the video. It's super fun. I think it's awesome that she did it, but I just think that there would have maybe been a better song for her to do in that situation.
By the way, the U.S. Navy no longer allows bands to record videos on their ships. After this video.
I know.
There you go.
At least it was the last one to go out on.
There you go. And now the last video was from 1993 from Beavis and Butthead.
The year I was born. That beautiful, beautiful year.
There you go.
They ruined it.
Yeah. Who ruined it?
Beavis and Butthead.
They ruined it?
Yeah.
They ruined... Okay, because it was I Got You, Babe.
Yep.
So it's Cher.
Which is one of my favorite songs
of
all time. It is always my karaoke go-to.
Okay.
I'm terrible at singing it, but it's a very fun karaoke song.
And you watch this video, and you're saying Beavis and Butthead completely ruined this song.
I hate Beavis and Butthead.
Why?
I don't know if it's just a thing to where I like didn't grow up with it, so it just annoys the shit out of me. But it's just like I don't really like noises very much, and it's basically just one like the whole show is just one long annoying noise. That's all it is to me. I can't focus on anything else, and that's all it is. Just one long annoying noise.
Do you think less of Cher for doing the song?
I just like how did this come to be a thing? Like, did they ask her?
Yes.
Was it like a show that she liked?
Probably.
So that she did it?
I think at the time it was the hottest show on television. It connected. It was one of the first shows on MTV that was not quote unquote music based. And so it was, and also part of the show was they made fun of music videos.
Yeah.
So you were either part of the joke or they were going to make you the joke.
Right.
So she probably was like, hey, it's 1993. This is the biggest thing with the kids right now. Do you want to do the Beavis and Butthead album? And she's like, again, she was a comedian. She was on the Sonny and Cher comedy hour. So she kind of somewhat gets comedy.
Yeah.
She sits there and goes, okay, I'm now at this point in my mid to late 40s. In order to get with the young people, this is not a bad idea for me to do this song. And plus update the song in general.
Yeah, I mean, I don't put it on her.
Why would you not put it on her?
Because, I mean, that seems like an okay thing to do for, to try and get yourself out there with the kiddos. I mean, I didn't see it since I was just being born and things. Yeah. But I don't know. I just really hate it.
What did you think about the end of the video when she kind of ripped Sonny Bono?
I also don't know how to feel about that.
Yeah, you do. I mean, do you like it or didn't, or did you get the joke? Because he basically sits there and like goes, "Yeah, he sucked," and she's like, "Yeah, kinda."
Yeah, and then, but he's
now currently dead. But yeah, I mean.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. What are you gonna say about someone you divorced? Probably not great things. So maybe you'd be in a joke with them. I would never personally. So I wasn't a huge fan of it.
Well, let me ask you the question then. After these 3 videos, you're still a huge fan of Cher.
Oh, yeah, that's never going to change.
Okay. But seeing these videos, do you sit there and go, okay, that was just a blip on the radar screen, or it's just like, no, Cher can do no wrong?
I'm not a huge fan of her music videos. I think she can go wrong in that sense.
Well, then let me ask you this question. She comes up to you and says, Alex, help me come up with some good ideas for music videos. What do you want me to do?
Yeah, I don't really want to listen to many of her songs now, though. I'll be honest with you. Because the last concert that we went to, we bought tickets for it, and we got, like, CDs with our tickets of her new album. There's, like, one good song on it that I listen to when I get ready. It's called Dressed to Kill. I like that song. It makes me feel like a badass, and it's great. But all the rest of the music, I'm like, I don't really want to listen to this. I just want to listen to, all of the stuff that I grew up with.
So let me ask you this question. Are you more of a fan of the Cher persona and what Cher represents to you as opposed to actually Cher, the musician and or singer?
Well, I really like all of her songs.
You just said you hated your most recent album.
Yeah, her most recent album, but I like all of her other stuff.
Okay.
So I definitely like her as a musician, but yeah.
Do you like these 3 songs?
Yeah.
Okay, you just hate the videos?
Yeah.
Okay.
These are like some of my favorite songs ever.
Okay.
Like I said, I Got You Babe is literally probably in the top 5 of my all-time favorite songs.
But Beavis and Butthead ruined it.
Yes.
What and why do you like Cher so much? Why would you say, do you just like sit there and go, this is a go-to for me?
I think that, well, one, it's definitely a thing of like, it was something that my mother showed me as a child. So I think it's always been kind of like a bonding thing for me and my mother. Mm-hmm. But also, like you said, like, she is very empowering and like confident as a woman. So I feel like growing up with seeing that, I was like, I can do anything that I want to. And like, I could, dress in these clothes when I'm 40 and I can do that.
Or 72, which she currently
is.
Yeah,
exactly. And she still wears the same outfits. Like, it makes you feel very confident. You're like, I can still be a badass when I'm 70 or like 40, I can still be a huge badass. And I think that's a good thing to grow up with, even though my mom didn't take me to the show when I was 10 because she thought it would be inappropriate for me.
She was probably right. Anyways.
Probably, but now she's made up for it because we're going to see her again.
There you go. Anyway, so thank you very much to Alex for her fresh eye take on Cher from the 1980s.
Cher.
Now we move on to news and notes from the world of weirdness, sports, and entertainment. Play the song. Last week we had a discussion to where I was talking about that I'm starting to see the light at the end of the beard tunnel. I'm starting to see the fact that this is definitely the look of 2019, but I could see like when they do the movie about this decade, everyone's going to be wearing beards and all the women are going to be wearing leggings and stuff like that. But we're getting to the point of no more beards. And when I saw this like article, I'm not saying it means anything, but it's starting to come where the question is starting to be asked, which is, are beards cool anymore?
I like how, first of all, so they put up this article, and then the picture that they choose is Jim Carrey with his horrible-ass beard. Like, really? You couldn't have picked, like, an attractive man and his great beard?
You don't think
instead
that Jim
of this,
Carrey is attractive?
Definitely not in this photo.
Okay.
He looks like a goof.
Okay.
I mean, he always looks kind of like a goof.
Yeah, he's
but,
kind of a comedian.
Yeah, not a great beard photo. Yeah, if I saw that photo, I'd be like, fuck beards. They're terrible.
Okay. Who has the most quality beard, would you say, right now?
Ooh, oh my God, that's so hard.
I think I'm getting you more nervous than I've ever gotten you in my life.
I don't know. I can't think of any beards right now. And it's making me really sad.
I know. Anyways, so the point of the article was they actually asked like some designers, and they said, are beards cool anymore? And obviously designers who just say anything that is now is not cool anymore. That's like
right.
What they do. They're like, no, beards are...
But if they're saying, so if beards aren't cool, is it just clean shaven face? Is what
Well, see,
cool?
Here's the part of the article which made me kind of weirded out.
Okay.
They claim that beards are getting less cool, but on the other hand, they've done studies that state that women dig beards.
Yeah, so they're cool. Don't go against what women feel. They're going to change everyone's perceptions, just like this is just like butts. This is the same thing with butts and boobs.
Because basically what you're saying is something gets hot and they don't ask the people that, like when everyone said, oh, it's all about butts and boobs are out. They didn't ask guys about that. And
no, they didn't. And then butts are now the thing, and people and all guys are like, I guess I should like butts now. I guess this is the thing. This is what I should like now. And then they do that. And it's stupid.
So
I'm not going to be one of those people. They are not going to brainwash me with this beard shit.
Okay, so Alex, look in that camera. Tell the dudes out there, make sure that you don't tell them to brainwash. Go.
Keep your beards. Don't let all the women around you be brainwashed by this Wall Street Journal shit. Keep your beard.
Yeah, the Wall Street Journal, too. That's
also, like, what the hell? Like, who has this job for the Wall Street Journal? I think it would be awesome, to be honest, if you're like, you're a kid out of college and you tell your parents, like, oh, I'm going to write for the Wall Street Journal. And they're like, oh, my God, we're so proud of you, honey. And really, you just write articles about if beards are cool or not.
But there's no answer to that. There's just like, it's like sitting there saying, does ice cream taste good?
Right, exactly. It's stupid, and people should stop writing these articles and also get off the beard shit.
Yes.
I'd rather you write an article about how millennials suck rather than beards being not cool.
Speaking of millennial sucking, apparently there was this article in which someone developed a spoon and a fork that attaches to your cell phone.
Why?
Because they say millennials can't put down their phones. So instead of having one hand on the phone and one hand on the fork, they're saying, why don't we combine them for the millennials? And so they've come up with this product for $40 that attaches and becomes like your cell phone case that has a spoon and a fork, and you can eat while you are on your phone, which my point is typically I would just be like hand then with the fork anyways.
You still have to look away from your phone for a couple seconds to like feed yourself.
But they're saying you don't have the dexterity to do two, so you just look, shovel, look, shovel, as opposed to look, shovel, look, shovel.
The only time, okay, I don't particularly like it, but the only time I feel like this would be useful, because I've had this problem somewhat recently, is when I take breaks at work, I don't have a ton of time, and so I want to eat, but I also want to like check my phone and like check what's happening, you know, and like see if I have messages and stuff in that amount of time. But I'm like, okay, well, like it's kind of not one or the other, but like if I take more time eating, I have less time to like look at the stuff on my phone, and I don't look at my phone while I'm at work all day. So like I have to do everything right now. So
Which is why you should eat sandwiches. Things
I can't
that
eat
don't
sandwiches.
things that don't require spoons or forks.
No, I eat salads at work because I'm a healthy person, and I can't eat sandwiches at work because they make me sleepy.
Why do sandwiches make you sleepy?
Carbs?
So any sort of carbs make you sleepy.
Yeah.
What kind of, you don't put any carb-like substances on your salads?
No.
Okay.
Just greens.
Just greens. So you just,
Greens and other vegetables?
how big is your salad?
Pretty big.
Really?
Yeah.
Would even I feel it be big?
I don't know. Do you eat salads? I don't
Yeah.
know, like, how big of a salad you typically eat. That's kind of a weird question.
Like a typical Wendy's salad.
Yeah, it's pretty similar, I would say, to that size.
Do you make it yourself?
Yes, kind of.
What do you mean, kind of?
Typically, I make it by myself, or if my mom makes salad for dinner the night before, I'll just take the rest of that.
There you go. But you're saying then you would need a fork.
I do need a fork to eat
How about
my
a
salad.
wrap? Wrap is it's kind of a salady kind of thing.
No, I like my salad, so that's why I feel like this could be helpful in that situation. But
You need to figure out a way to eat salad without utensils.
I
That's what a smoothie is essentially.
I already have green smoothies in the morning, which is basically the salad mixed up. So I don't really want to have that for lunch.
So your
again.
first meal is a smoothie,
Yeah,
then a salad.
yeah.
Are you like under 1,000 calories at this point?
I don't know what calories are. I mean, I know what calories are. It's just I don't know what calories are in things. I don't do that. I have no idea.
You should eat like a big old steak at dinner then.
I mean, I usually have some kind of meat and a vegetable at dinner. Sometimes I'll go crazy and eat some carbs at dinner because I can go to sleep afterwards.
So it has nothing to do with health. It has everything to do with sleep.
Kinda, yeah.
Okay. But I just saw this, and I love how they blamed it on millennials being lazy, and I'm just like, it's just an invention.
Yeah, I mean, all people can use this.
There you go. Also, something else people can use sometimes is religion, but not in this case. I saw this headline, and I thought it was the biggest BS highlight or freaking, what is it called? Headline I'd ever seen in my life. It says Mormon gay conversion therapist now choosing to pursue life as a homosexual. Here's what the headline should have read. Religious nutjob now will live life as he always has been, a homosexual man.
Right.
I love how they actually, this was Newsweek. I made sure to put in that this wasn't like a pretend Onion article or anything like that. This was a legitimate news organization, or at least at one point was. And it says, Mormon gay conversion therapist, which is not a thing, okay? You're just basically someone that's trying to make people not be who they are.
You're just mean.
You're just being a mean person. Now choosing, like he's done so much praying with gay people that he's like, you know what? I might try to be that. No, you've been gay the whole time, and now you're going to just decide, like, you know what? Forget it. I'm gay.
Well, it does kind of sound also like choosing to pursue life as homosexual, like a homosexual life, because he wasn't living that before. He was definitely homosexual before, but wasn't choosing to pursue a life as a homosexual. He was choosing to pursue a life that he was lying about.
That should be in the headline.
Yeah, all of that.
Yeah.
Everything
whole
that I
thing should be
just
a
said.
headline. But I love the picture of the guy.
I like that it says underneath, said he is quitting the ex-gay scene and is seeking to date men.
There you go.
That also should be his Tinder profile pic. I guess his Grindr profile pic.
I don't know.
Looks great. He is very determined to date men in that photo. They picked a good photo.
That probably was a picture from his Grindr profile.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's probably where they found out all this. Someone who's like probably another gay man, like probably had a date with the guy, be like, tell me more about you. It's like, well, I'm a Mormon gay conversion therapist and now choosing to pursue a life as a homosexual.
But would you, as a gay person, want to date this guy? Because I feel like no. Because you're like, oh, okay, so before you were trying to change people into being not gay, which is not a thing.
Okay.
No, you can't do that.
Yeah, you're being a mean prick.
Yeah. And now you want to be one of us.
Yeah, now you want to join the club of
gayness. And now you're not going to, hate on all of us. Yeah. That seems stupid. I would not date that guy.
Yeah, go to hell, you prick.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how you do it.
Okay.
All right, good.
Good conversation.
I don't even know if we're having a conversation at this point. Speaking of something near and dear to your hearts, tattoos. Now they say 40% of millennials have a tattoo.
I would expect even more than that, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, you got to remember there's also gay conversion therapists in the world and stuff like that.
Right. They don't have tattoos.
Yeah, they don't have tattoos. Then they get one that says, hey, by the way, I'm gay. But but here's the thing, and this is what scares the hell out of me, Alex, because I love you dearly, and I don't want this to happen to you. They did a study, University of Rochester. They said young people that have tattoos, they get in more trouble. They smoke. They binge drink. They have more sex unprotected. They get in more serious fights. They join gangs. They skip school, and they get poor grades. And they're more likely to end up in jail.
This seems like just a young people thing. Just all around young people thing.
Yeah, that's my point of the thing was like, okay, was it because they have tattoos? Or were they doing this before and getting a tattoo was just kind of what you do if you skip school, smoke, have sex?
Right, exactly. Yeah, that too.
Like when you got your first tattoo, did you all of a sudden be like, I'm a bad girl. I'm going to start smoking and start doing weird stuff?
No, I did. After I got my first tattoo, I did randomly drive to Canada the next day and get real shit faced there. But
was it because of the
definitely
tattoo?
Not because of the tattoo.
It wasn't the ink poisoning that made you do it?
No, I think I wanted to do that either way. Yeah.
Was it when did you get your first tattoo?
I was, I guess I was 19.
Okay. So you were over 18. You didn't need anyone's permission or anything like that.
Yeah, I think I just turned 19 not too long
Would
before.
you let your child under the age of 18 get a tattoo?
I think it would depend on what it was. I think I'd be a little bit more critical of what they were getting.
Rose on the butt.
I don't know. Really? Oh, yeah, who cares? It's like... that's never gonna matter.
I love you thought about it. You're like, yeah, I'd let him do whatever the hell they wanted.
Well, literally, when I got my nose pierced for the first time, I went home and my dad was like, "Why would you ruin your face like that? You should have got." These were his suggestions. Other than getting a nose piercing, you should have got your tongue pierced, or a tattoo on your butt. Those were his other suggestions besides a nose piercing. It's like, Dad, think about those again. And think about how your daughter would look out in the world having her tongue pierced and a tattoo on her butt.
Well, I think he was saying those can be more easily concealed.
Yes, they can, but also a little bit more trashy.
Let me ask you this question.
Yes.
The tongue piercing, I don't know if that is of 2019 anymore.
Yeah, I don't think as many people are getting it now.
Yeah.
Which...
Like, I was in college when that was pretty much starting to be a thing. And
I think I would do it just for fun, just for something to, I bite my lips a lot and, bite my nails a lot. I feel like that might help doing that.
Could you imagine a time in which you will not have nose piercings?
Can I imagine it?
Yeah.
Not really, honestly.
Maybe
less of them.
See, because the thing about nose piercing is the fact that if you were to remove them, then you're you're all set. You'd be, they can, the hole can close and stuff like that.
Yeah, and even if it doesn't close, it basically just looks like a freckle.
Yeah.
It's not like you can really tell.
Yeah.
But no, I think I'll be one of those grandmas with a nose piercing.
That's your goal?
Mm-hmm.
But what about these where you're saying that if you do this, you're saying you're going straight to juvie? I
think I'm a pretty decent human being at this point in my life. And I have, multiple tattoos. I have yet to go to jail. So I think I'm pretty good.
There
I
you
think
go.
I've done good. I don't think that's a real thing. I don't
Okay.
think that's a real study. I think
No.
they're poop.
Okay. It is a real study, but I think that they
Nope.
found kids
They
who are
just
kind
made
of
that
doing
shit up.
Yeah, I
It
think,
was some mom who didn't want their kid to get a tattoo, so they did that study.
all right. Let's just be honest. I'll just most studies are made up. Anyways, speaking of something like this, every year, speaking of the very popular thing football, we are now in the college evaluation where they get the seniors or the juniors that are
Woo.
coming into the draft, and now they start interviewing them. So, just as a reminder, these are the kind of questions that NFL teams ask of their players. Do you find your mother attractive?
What the fuck?
Yep. Do you like men? What is your murder weapon of choice?
What are these serving?
They're just they're questions that literally players last year were asked at the combine.
Okay.
Would you share your internet history with us?
No.
What color is chocolate? Are you afraid of clowns?
Yes.
Is your mother a prostitute?
No.
Okay.
That I know of.
Yes. You never know. You know, she does things on her own. Anyways,
More power to her.
now this is how weird this is getting.
Okay.
So the
because it
picture-
wasn't weird before.
Well, the picture I showed was of Drew Luck.
Okay.
He is a quarterback for the University of Missouri who is more than likely going to be a first-round draft choice. He was sat down with a team, and they asked him about, says, we have done some investigation, and your ninth grade year, you got in trouble doing something. What did you do? He had to admit that in ninth grade, he got caught cheating on a math test. The NFL team who was talking to him eventually sat there and said, yeah, we knew. We just wanted you to see if you'd be honest with us and tell us that in ninth grade you got caught cheating on a math test.
Rude.
Which brings up a couple points. Number one, the NFL owners have way too much money and time on their hands to ask those questions to these people. And number two, legitimately, anytime the owners ever say, we didn't know what our players were doing, you're so full of shit.
Yeah.
You can find out whether one of your quarterbacks cheated on a math test in ninth grade. You could clearly find out if one of your players is abusing his wife or was arrested or was, a video like Ray Rice of him physically assaulting his wife or Kareem Hunt kicking a woman in a freaking hotel ballroom. You clearly knew because you clearly knew that in ninth grade a kid cheated on a math test.
Right.
Anyways,
I wish I could ask these questions to people that I hire.
you can. I mean, you'll know you can't. You
No,
can't ask
you
him.
can't.
Here's what happened with the famous one is your mother a prostitute? It was actually Des Bryant was being interviewed by the general manager, I believe, of the Miami Dolphins. And he goes, what did your dad do for a living? And he goes, my dad was a pimp. And he goes, oh, what did your mother do? She goes, he worked for my dad. So he then goes, so was your mother a prostitute? And he says, no, she just kind of did work for him. So that's how that question came up.
Okay. That makes more sense.
Yes, but still, do you find your mother
But
attractive?
Also, why can't you just play football?
When you give people too much time, they have to fill the time with something.
Yeah.
Like, I remember I had a boss once who sat there and said, Mike, if I say I need this report due by Tuesday, do you know how long it will take you to do the report? Tuesday. If I say, Mike, I need the report in 2 hours, do you know what you'll do? Do the report in 2 hours.
Right.
The task will take the time allotted. There was actually a story that stated that back in like the 60s, NFL teams legitimately like picked players out of the street in Smith and like had 4 days to pick players.
That sounds great.
Yeah. So they didn't ask them, hey, by the way, did you find your mother attractive? They just kind of watched the film, went to a couple of their games, figured out he was a good player, and signed him.
Yeah.
Now the point would be, well, I'm going to give this guy $30 million. Well, here's the thing. You're still screwing up royally.
Yeah.
Half of the first-round draft picks turned into utter shit.
Yeah. So it's not helping.
It's not helping. Another thing that's not
Does
helping.
anyone say yes to that question, too? That's what I want to know. Do you find your mother attractive? If they say yes, does that mean they're not getting on the team? Or is that like...
I think it all, like,
okay
if you're trying to
here.
figure out what type of person and they do personality tests, it would come down to, like, what if your mom was... Like, okay, Tom Brady's kid, his mom is Giselle.
Yeah.
If you sat there and said, hey, do you find your mom attractive? And you said no, I think that would actually find it a little weirder. Like, dude, you ever see your mom?
Yeah.
Your mom's Giselle.
Yeah.
Kind of a model.
Right.
So, you never know. Speaking of, we always hate studies. I think we're anti-study on the Mike Sasson Show.
I mean, I think we're anti-studies that everyone else does. I think that we could do some really great studies if we were given all of the grants.
Okay.
But, yeah, everyone else's studies are stupid.
Here's one study that never needed to happen.
I agree.
Apparently, someone did a study and found out that eating fried chicken is linked to a 13% higher risk of death.
Everything's going to make you die. You're going to die someday. So why don't you eat fried chicken?
But here's my point with this whole thing. It almost makes it sound like that death is avoidable.
Yeah, it does, because it says a 13% higher risk of death. You're going to die. It's not saying you're going to die sooner. It's just going to say you're going to die. We all know we're going to die.
Yeah. It's the stupidest thing. Someone actually had to write a report. There was a famous...
Thank you for also WPXI for reporting on this.
Yeah.
Very important thing.
Yeah. The famous... what's his name? Frickin' used to do a Weekend Update. Norm Macdonald.
Yeah.
And every once in a while, he would have like a new study shows that smoking 2 packs of cigarettes a day could give you cancer. This in the new medical journal, duh. You know, and it's one of those things that like this would be in the medical journal, no shit.
Yeah.
Like no one eats fried chicken because they think it's good for them.
Yeah.
It's the same people who sit there and start to, let's talk about the next story. Let's put these two together. Apparently, they're going to start putting bacon, if you want to, on Big Macs.
Woo.
Exactly. Woo indeed. But now they're talking about, I saw this show, Adam Ruins Everything, and he ruined bacon, where he said, bacon is a known carcinogen. And I was like, oh no, what does that mean? It just means that it has a higher risk of cancer.
I just, everything's going to kill you. Why not enjoy some things? Also, I hate that show. I don't like that show.
Yeah.
None of these things needed to be ruined for me, bro.
Yeah.
I could have gone my whole life being not in the know about these things.
The first 2 seasons, they actually ruined some things that were like, we're going to tell you about, like, you know, why, you know, people should not hate chicken. I don't know. But that was a terrible idea. Sorry. Not good at improv. Anyways, so the point being is, yeah, I know bacon isn't quote unquote good for you.
Right.
I don't eat bacon because it's quote unquote a health food. I eat it because it's bacon.
It's delicious.
And bacon on a Big Mac sounds incredible.
It does.
And so they're going to do it at McDonald's. But then people will sit there and be like, oh, you know, McDonald's, an average meal is 3,000 calories. Yeah, I don't think you should consume every meal at McDonald's.
Mm-mm.
But if you're going to go to McDonald's, if someone says, hey, I'm going to throw some bacon on this Big Mac.
You're already eating 3,000 calories. Why the fuck not?
Do it. Cool. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks. Want some salty death sticks with them? Sure. They're
Yes.
fries. They're awesome.
Give me a milkshake.
Yeah, milkshake. With some, you know that eating a milkshake gives you a 30% better chance of enjoying existence.
Yeah, I think it's mainly the people behind these studies that I don't like more than the studies themselves. The people who find that this is a good use of their time to do when it's really not. And they're wasting their lives and they're just pricks.
Like, one of the biggest pricks of all time was that Morgan Stanley, whatever that guy is, Sperling Morgan, whatever the fucking loser's guy's name is. The guy who did the Super Size Me movie.
Oh. Yeah, I can't think of his name.
I think it's Morgan Spurlock.
Okay.
I remember watching this movie. It made huge deals. Like, they stopped supersizing French fries at McDonald's because of this asshole.
Yeah.
And I remember I was like, wow, let's watch this video. And he was just essentially a rich prick from New York with his vegan girlfriend shitting on like normal people.
Yeah.
Like in the middle of the thing, the girlfriend was like, when he comes off this, we're gonna have to do a cleanse of all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, he's eating like an idiot for a month.
Right.
You shouldn't eat 12,000 calories a day.
Yeah, don't eat McDonald's every day for all your meals.
Yes.
Simple thing.
Oh, how about this? If you do, like they had that one guy in England who did do it, but he ate the salad, he had the egg McMuffin, he had the coffee with no sugar in it. He had like basically 1,500 calories, and he got ripped out of his mind.
Right.
Because he was smart about it and just didn't do stupid stuff.
Yeah.
So the person who did the study where you decided to tell me that eating fried chicken will make it that I'll die, guess what? I know I'm gonna die.
Poop on you.
Poop. Yeah, get poop. Get that. We still right above you. We have Crappy the Poop.
Oh my God, it's so far away.
Okay, then don't do it. Who cares? I don't care. All right. There you go. You
Where's
haven't
his
touched
head?
him in a while. You haven't.
No, I haven't.
I know.
It sounded really weird.
I know.
If you can't see anything that we're doing.
I know. You grab Crappy the Poop.
Yeah, we'll narrate that
Yeah.
so that it doesn't sound weird.
Yeah, there you go. There's
Crappy
Crappy.
Poop is back.
So
poop,
tell
poop
Crappy.
poop on all the studies.
Poop on all of the studies.
Unless you want to give us grant money to do our own studies, poop on all y'all.
Here's the one study I want to do. Does listening to the Mike Sasson Show make you more awesome?
Yes. Proved it.
Proved it. Give us our money. Anyways. There you go. Anyways, that was news and notes.
Woo!
Now, did anyone comment on the show?
Yeah, we have a few comments. Let's read them.
There you go. With our segment to end the show, comment your ass off. Play the song.
To the world. Say hello to
The last two stories were just basically like eat bacon, eat fried foods, we're all going to die.
Yeah.
It's like the end
Let's
segment.
do drugs and drink and get tattoos and eat burgers
Yeah.
and bacon.
And watch Cher videos and just live life.
Right.
That's what the Mike Sasson
We're all
Show
going
is
to die. Why not die sooner and enjoy it?
called. Live life. Live it.
Anyways, Sam says, do you plan to have interviews on the street? Oh, it's cold out, so no.
No, not this week because it's cold. By the way, Sam's birthday was yesterday.
Oh, damn it.
Yeah.
That's the thing. You text me all the time, and you don't text me these things.
Yeah. Happy birthday, Sam.
Happy birthday, Sam. Thank you so much for watching our show and commenting.
There you go.
Why don't celebrities come on your show? Because
None are as big as me and Alex, and they're embarrassed to be like not as talented. Like one time, I was talking to
You have a
like
story to
Richard
go along with it.
Richard Pryor, and Richard Pryor was like, I'm not dead. I'm just scared that you're just that insanely talented of a person. And I'm like, thanks, Rich. I'll tone it down. She's like, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about Alex.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, that was kind
Yeah, everyone's always like, I heard Alex is super intimidating and kind of rude. So I don't want to come on the show.
Yeah.
Basically, that's what everyone says.
Yeah. Mostly
Really?
BMX guys who like drink beer. They say that you're super intimidating.
How well do you think this show would do on KDKA?
Not
Terribly.
Not good at all.
Literally terribly.
Not good at all.
We'd
Old
have to
ladies-
like censor our
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
And
Old ladies would not like us.
No. Well, they might like me. No, they won't. Old men like me. Old
Men like-
ladies do not, I don't
Old
think.
middle-aged women like me because I have Popeye on.
There we go. I think we could do it then.
Yeah, except every 2 seconds we just have to like we'd have to do like a 20-second delay, and
Yeah.
then just old people just be like, "Why did the sound go off?" And they were like, "Damn TV," and it was just us swearing.
Yeah. Well, I think they have those bleepy things for that.
No, I don't think you bleep. They just take the sound out.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
Well, I want bleeps. That'll be our request when KDKA comes to us to offer us a show. I want a really big couch if we ever get that.
Do you
so
really
that
want a big couch?
I want to sit as far away from you as possible.
Yeah, between a table and 5 feet away is not long enough for Alex.
We also got a comment from. Oh wait, Sam says thank you, by the way, for wishing him happy birthday.
Cool deal.
Sorry we didn't get you anything besides doing the show.
Yeah, which is your gift every week.
Exactly.
You're welcome.
Philip says most. Hold on, sorry, I temporarily went blind. Most
an issue.
notable Roman emperor with a beard. Hadrian. I can't read. You know what his most legacy was? Building a wall. Literally, I feel like I just sounded Probably like the most stupid person ever reading that whole comment.
I still don't even know what comment was, so we're
Yeah.
just gonna run past it
Me
and
neither.
pretend it never
Sorry,
happened.
Philip.
Yeah.
Missy bud.
Yeah.
That's it.
There you go. That was the Mike Sasson Show. Next week we'll do it again.
We will, and it'll be so incredible.
Yeah, it will be. Anyways, again, my name's Mike Sasson. That's Alex Clemens.
That's
Again,
me.
this Friday, you can support Pittsburgh comedy in two ways. You can go to the Mr. Smalls Funhouse, and you can watch Krish Mohan record his album at the Funhouse, which is going to be awesome. Or you could watch Rough and Rowdy, where Matt Light will be hopefully beating the hell out of someone who I don't know. Anyways, again, keep listening to The River's Edge. After us, it's Grown Dad Business.
Woo!
With our friends Jason and Aaron. So it should be a fun, wonderful time. So thank you to everyone. Thank you to The River's Edge. Again, keep listening at www.riversedgepgh.com. My name is Mike Sasson. That's Alex Clemens. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Hey,